Somewhere above the clouds, a $2 trillion secret is currently orbiting your house. It's not a weather satellite. It's not a spy drone. It's a construction site larger than the Pentagon, built in total silence. While NASA begs for spare change, a black budget empire has been quietly weaponizing the stars. Forget the moon landing. We're talking about a permanent, invisible fortress that can strike any city on Earth in under 2 minutes. This isn't science fiction. It's the blueprint for a project the public was never meant to see. The man who signed the first order called it a force. The people building it call it the end of modern warfare. You're not supposed to know this exists, but today we're pulling back the curtain on the sky itself. Before we reveal the terrifying scale of this orbital titan, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to be the only one left in the dark. Let's dive in. In 2019, when the Space Force was officially signed into existence, the internet collectively rolled its eyes. The logo looked like a Star Trek ripoff. The uniforms were mocked for using woodland camouflage in the vacuum of space. But while the world was busy making memes, the checkbooks were opening, and the numbers were staggering. We aren't talking about a few $billion for a fancy rover or a telescope. We're talking about the black budget, a financial abyss where over $50 billion vanishes every single year. To put that in perspective, NASA's entire annual budget is a mere rounding error for these guys. While we were distracted by SpaceX landing boosters, a project called the Proliferated Warfighter Space Architecture was being woven around the planet like a spiderweb. This isn't one giant space station that an enemy could just blow up. It's a swarm. A distributed mesh network of hundreds, eventually thousands, of interconnected satellites. If an enemy shoots one down, the system doesn't even flinch. It's an unkillable, self-healing ghost in the machine. And here is the dark irony. They told us this was about protecting GPS. In reality, it's the infrastructure for the most terrifying weapon ever conceived: kinetic bombardment. Imagine a rod of solid tungsten, the size of a telephone pole, dropped from low Earth orbit. It doesn't need explosives, it just needs gravity. It hits the ground at Mach 10, carrying the destructive power of a tactical nuclear strike, with zero radiation. No one can see it coming. No one can stop it. The public thinks the Space Force is a joke. The Pentagon knows it's the ultimate checkmate. But wait, it gets much more expensive, and much weirder. This isn't just a Space Force, it's the Golden Dome, a project so massive it makes the original moon landing look like a high school science fair. Announced with the kind of bravado only a billionaire-backed administration could muster, the Golden Dome is designed to be an impenetrable shield over the United States. But here's the twist. It's not just about defense. The Pentagon is building a celestial nervous system. While you were sleeping, they've been launching a proliferated warfighter space architecture, a fancy term for a swarm of thousands of small, low-orbit satellites that communicate at the speed of light. Think of it as a global AI-driven mesh network. If a rival nation launches a missile, the Golden Dome doesn't just see it. It calculates the trajectory in milliseconds and tasks a nearby satellite to neutralize it before it even leaves the atmosphere. The cost? A staggering $175 billion minimum, though insiders whisper that the true price tag, buried in black accounts, is heading toward the trillions. And who is building the hardware? The usual suspects: SpaceX, Palantir, and Lockheed Martin. The irony is thick. We're using private billionaire tech to build a government fortress that may eventually monitor every square inch of the planet, 24/7. But the Golden Dome isn't just about stopping missiles. Deep within the classified briefings, there's mention of custody layers, satellites designed to track mobile ground assets. That's military speak for they can see your car from 300 miles up, in the dark, through the clouds, and never lose sight of it. The sky is no longer a frontier. It's a cage. And wait until you see what happens when the Golden Dome decides to stop being a shield and starts being a sword. But if you think a global surveillance cage is the peak of this pyramid, you're looking at the wrong part of the sky. While the public stares at satellite swarms, a ghost has been haunting low Earth orbit for over 900 days at a time. The X-37B. It's a windowless, unmanned spaceplane that officially doesn't exist in the way NASA's shuttles did. It doesn't carry astronauts, it carries secrets. The irony is almost poetic. NASA holds a press conference for every bolt they tighten, while the Space Force launches the X-37B in the dead of night with a classified payload. Insiders suggest it's not just a test vehicle, it's a mothership, a deployer for microsatellites that can park themselves next to an adversary's hardware and just wait. Think of it as an orbital Trojan horse, hidden in plain sight. But there's a darker layer to this trillion-dollar onion. The vision wasn't just about the orbit we can see, it was about cislunar space. That's the vast, silent territory between Earth and the Moon. Why? Because if you control the Moon, you control the ultimate high ground. It's the Suez Canal of the stars. And here's the kicker. China is already there. The secret defense project isn't just a shield for Washington. It's a desperate, high-stakes race to claim the Lagrange points. These are gravity wells where a satellite can sit forever without using a drop of fuel. It's the ultimate sniper's nest. If the Golden Dome is the shield, then the cislunar fleet is the sword held at the throat of the entire solar system. And yet, the most terrifying part isn't what's in the sky. It's who actually owns the keys to the castle. Here is the most unsettling part of the $2 trillion sky. The US government doesn't actually own the keys to the kingdom. The Golden Dome is being built on a subscription model. Think about that. The most powerful defense system in human history is essentially software as a service. The Pentagon is moving away from owning satellites and toward renting capability from billionaires like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. SpaceX's Starshield is the backbone. It's a military-hardened version of Starlink, designed to be an unkillable mesh network that the government simply pays to use. Then there's Palantir, the shadowy AI giant, which acts as the celestial brain, processing trillions of data points to decide, in real time, what is a threat and what isn't. The irony is staggering. To protect the state has handed its survival over to private corporations with their own global agendas. If a billionaire decides to turn off the geofencing over a specific conflict zone, like we've already seen happen in modern warfare, the entire $200 billion shield could effectively vanish. But it goes deeper than just who owns the hardware. The project is now integrating autonomous orbital interceptors. These are sleeper satellites that don't just watch, they hunt. Equipped with AI-driven fire control, they are authorized to neutralize hypersonic threats before a human general even gets the notification on their phone. We have officially entered the era of the algorithmic war, where the speed of light is the only thing that matters, and human decision-making is too slow to keep up. The Golden Dome isn't just a wall, it's a sentient private orbital police force. And if you think the cost is high now, wait until you see the ultimate endgame for what happens when the dome is finally closed. So here is the final chilling realization. The Golden Dome isn't just a shield to keep missiles out. It's the ultimate architecture for a global panopticon. When you have a mesh network of thousands of satellites equipped with AI that can track a single human being across a continent, privacy becomes a relic of the 20th century. The irony is the ultimate twist. We were told this was about protecting our way of life. In reality, it's about a $2 trillion system that makes the very concept of a secret impossible. And the endgame? It's not just Earth. The Space Force's cislunar mission is about creating a permanent, weaponized presence on the Moon. If you control the lunar surface, you control the gateway to the rest of the solar system. The Golden Dome is just the first layer of a fortress that will eventually extend to the stars. We are no longer just looking at the sky. We are looking at the most expensive, most complex, and most dangerous machine ever built by human hands. And the most terrifying part? The switch has already been flipped. The satellites are already there. The AI is already learning. And you're just a data point in the black budget empire's grand design. Welcome to the future. It's a lot more crowded up there than they told you. If this deep dive into the silent war above our heads kept you on the edge of your seat, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because in a world of black budgets and secret mega projects, the only thing more dangerous than what they're building is staying in the dark.